Moon river, wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. You dream maker, heart breaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows end, waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, moon, river, and me. Starting with a little melancholy music, making myself cry. I thought about doing music for the holidays, but that makes me cry. The holidays are a tough time, especially for widows and people who lost loved ones, parents. The holidays are reminders to drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows end, waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, moon, river, and me. Hello, hello, welcome to my Melancholy Beach Report. Well, tonight it's story time, so I can be melancholy, right? Thank you for your compliments, Bobby. You're very kind. I'm a little nasal right now because, like I said, you know, I do a lot of crying during the holidays, missing my parents, missing my grandparents, and missing my husband. So the holidays are very hard on people who have loved ones who are no longer here. But it's okay because we have our memories and we have our music. So I am super excited this year on Saturday. How many days is that? Somebody help me out. I don't know what. It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 3 days. I am going to have my birthday bash, my blowout, my... Do you think... I know it's backwards. Wait, I'll turn it around so you can see it. Do you think about me on my birthday? My book is finally published. I'm so excited. You guys, 40 years in the making, writing this sucker. And not just this, but, you know, this is just the beginning. This is the beginning of a series of books. And this second book is going to be called 7 Years in Switzerland. Oh, darling, I can't even imagine missing a child. That has got to be the worst in the world. However, I must say that when you miss people, you know, they do live on in your heart, in your memories. And even when people are still alive, but maybe you don't see them very much anymore, or even with children, you know, children are such a fleeting memory when they're children. They grow up and it's just like so different, you know, they're adults. It's a whole metamorphosis that happens all the time. And even though your son is no longer on this earth, you know, he is in heaven. He is your angel, like my husband is my angel. My parents, my grandparents, my friends who are all up there, I know I will see them again. But for now, we're down here dealing with it, right? Okay, so I thought I would read you something that is going to be in my next book, 7 Years in Switzerland. And I thought I would give you a little taste of that. I like to string together parts of my books with things that I have written that were published. This is called, wait, I'll turn it around. This is called Switzerland. Back in the day, this was published in 2006. And this is a column that I used to write for a magazine in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, right outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I used to write travel articles for this magazine. So if you guys are ready, there's not very many people watching right now, so you're kind of an exclusive bunch, and not a lot of people know what story time means, but buckle up. Oh, we'll have a good time. Okay, so I'm gonna read this. Are you ready, Darla? Are you ready? Darla knows all about story time. Darla would miss story time for the world. I have my coffee that I drink with a straw, but I do drink it in a stainless steel cup because I'm trying to eke plastic out of my life. She says as her stainless steel straw is covered in a little piece of plastic. What are you gonna do? It's so awful. All right, she's tuckered and ready. All right, you guys. Switzerland, Mysteries in the Mountains, Part 2. This is back when I was a young mother with little kids. Its bustling streets adorned by a winding river the color of sparkling turquoise. Interlaken is a jewel of a town that caters exclusively to tourists from all over the world. I've always loved to visit this picturesque city because it's so family and foreigner friendly, with much to offer. Manicured playgrounds, charming souvenir shops, an array of restaurants and pubs, lovely hotels and spas, extreme sports like bungee jumping and paragliding, and even a casino. In 2003, we noticed that a peculiar silver globe surrounded by oddly shaped structures had appeared on the edge of town called Mystery Park. It was advertised as a one-of-a-kind theme park created by one of Europe's best-selling nonfiction authors, Erich von Däniken. Herr von Däniken became known in America during the late 1960s when he published the controversial book Chariots of the Gods, which resulted in the television special In Search of Ancient Astronauts. Over the past couple of years, Mystery Park looked intriguing as we whizzed by it on our way to the Oberland hike into the Oberland to hike the Bernese Alps. But the brochure said it would take up most of a day, and we never had the time. This August, however, constant rain and catastrophic flooding meant that there was not much else to do. So we figured it was time to explore the mystery. Hey, Squatch, good to see you. Days before our visit, Mystery Park was shown in the news, surrounded by water up to its parking lot. The flood caused them to close for a day, but in comparison to their neighbors, they got off easy because weather does not affect the Mystery Park, and that's just part of its charm. Every visitor enters the fully enclosed plaza, equipped with a small headset tuned to the wearer's language of choice, making it one of the most internationally friendly attractions in the world. Following a circular pathway, people can visit 7 themed pavilions, each one a mini IMAX-inspired theater with dazzling graphics and interactive displays designed to provoke questions which have perplexed mankind for years. Hello, Indonesia. How did the Egyptians build the pyramids? Who created Stonehenge? And could it be a megalithic time machine? What secrets did the Mayan civilization know about astrology? Are we alone in the universe? Questions like these lead to more profound notions about the past and future of mankind and make visitors think about life on a more global, even universal scale. Mystery Park is the culmination of von Daniken's 40-year career spent theorizing about the ancient texts, myths, and legends. Despite a long history of criticism from his many skeptics, he was able to convince Interlaken's officials to approve his plan for the park, an amazing feat in and of itself. A charming and delightful host, von Daniken invited me and my family to chat with him in his office at the top of the globe as he explained how Mystery Park came to be. By the way, this was such a great honor to be able to meet with this man, Herr von Daniken. He's somewhat of a legend, especially in Switzerland, but he's known all over the world. Hey, Laura. The Mystery Park is not a place of getting answers, he said. If you pay attention, you will realize that it all ends in question marks. We create curiosity. We do not have the final answers from the scientific community, but we have mysteries here. Educated by Swiss Jesuits, von Daniken recalled that when he was a teenager, he began to question religious doctrine. I was and still am a great, deep believer in God, he said. But when I was around 16, I suddenly had doubts in my own education of religion. I wondered if other communities in antiquity have similar stories about their beginnings, their religion, their God, like we have. And that's how it started. All of a sudden, I said to myself, is this all true, or are they just stories or fairy tales? If it's true, what are they talking about? Maybe in some cases they mean extraterrestrials. I was never looking for extraterrestrials, but the question came by itself. Such curiosity eventually resulted in 30 books. Dude wrote 30 books, which have sold more than 62 million copies all over the world. Something to aspire to. And The Mystery Park. And von Daniken urges people to reach for the stars despite the logical desire to dismiss what we don't understand. Seated in a globe atop his stellar earthbound spaceship, von Daniken surveyed the city below as it struggled to recover from Mother Nature's wrath. From my position, I see the houses, the rivers, the streets, and the cars, and they're all just like little toys, he observed. Of course, I have the feeling, wow, fantastic city here. Look at this toy world down there. And then I realize how attackable we are by nature and how tiny we are in reality. We always think that we are the greatest, but in reality we are nothing in the universe. We are just little figures seen from a position of whatever God or so. Even when the sky turns white and the mountains disappear above the clouds, Mystery Park offers the experience of a clear bird's-eye view of Switzerland's treasured mountains, ancient civilizations, the universe, and the possibility of reaching further than the eye can see. Mystery Park no longer exists, unfortunately. So I feel so fortunate that I got that experience. Herr von Daniken, I did it as a press trip. I contacted the park. Herr von Daniken invited us personally to be his guests. when I say us, I mean me and my ex-husband. Well, we were married then, and our two kids. And it was the greatest experience. It was, to me, it was better than Disney World. And the kids thought so too. All right, you guys. Now I'm going to read an excerpt from my book because I am having my big book launch on Saturday. All right, I'm going to read to you this part of my book. It's called Parents, Real and Imagined. That's the book. I know it's backwards. Anyway, again, get your coffee, your hot chocolate, whatever. Look at me. I'm ready for hockey season. Oh, gosh, Squatch, you heard Erica's key speaker. How amazing was that, right? That dude was intense. Very, very interesting fellow. Okay, are you guys ready for a chapter from my book? Do you think about me on my birthday? All right, this is called Parents, Real and Imagined. When Leah was 10 years old, her family moved to a new house in a different school district. Two girls her age, named Claire and Shelley, lived in her new neighborhood, and the three became fast friends when they found out that they had something in common. They all had been adopted. The friends would often discuss their unknown families and wonder where they came from. One of their favorite scenarios was that they were actually long-lost sisters. They looked nothing alike, but that did not deter them from pretending that they belonged, for a time, to each other. And they vowed that they would adopt their future children, too. When she overheard one of their adoption conversations, Leah's mother decided that it was time for a talk. Honey, I know you have some questions about your biological history, and I thought you might be interested in this, said Joanne as she handed Leah a yellowing sheet of paper that had come from the adoption agency. Surprised and feeling a bit guilty about her natural curiosity, Leah was nevertheless eager to read about her mysterious beginnings. However, the contents of the paper raised more questions than it answered. Isn't it funny how she had a lazy eye, Leah's mother pointed out as she read a description of her biological mother for the first time. I had a lazy eye, and so did you. Leah couldn't believe how cool her mother was being about showing her this information. It looks like she was young, commented Leah, noting that there were no ages and the father was identified as being a businessman and classical musician. How old do you think she was? Well, it says here that she completed a year of college, so she must have been a freshman, which would make her 18, 19 years old. But then again, I started college when I was 15, and you're going to be 17 when you start, so she could have been even younger. Leah imagined the drama of getting pregnant in college by an older man. I can't believe she had blonde hair and blue eyes, Leah exclaimed, shocked that they could be polar opposites. It looks like you got your olive complexion from him, Joanne said, gazing into her daughter's dark brown eyes. As a tiny infant, you were the most beautiful baby I'd ever set eyes on. Tears began coursing down her face. I feel sorry for that poor woman having to give up a perfect child. Embarrassed by her mother's tears, Leah was grateful for the information. I love you so much, Mom. Thank you for showing this to me. Honey, I'm just so blessed to have you as my daughter, said Joanne, tears flowing down her cheeks. I thank God every day for you and for the woman who only wanted the best for you. She must have loved you so much to be able to give you up. Joanne folded the girl in her arms and hugged her tightly to her chest. I thank God for you, Mom, Leah whispered. Satisfied that she knew enough, Leah eventually stopped thinking so much about her biological beginnings and focused instead on her own life as she became a young woman. During middle school, Leah, Claire, and Shelley drifted in and out of friendship as they each pursued their own interests. Shelley was involved in marching band and often stayed after school to practice. Leah became wrapped up in her synagogue's youth group, and Claire had started dating and acting wild, dressing sexy. It was from Claire that Leah and Shelley first learned what hickeys were. Proudly pointing to the angry purple welts on her neck during a ride on the school bus, Claire boasted, "Tommy made those marks with his mouth." Leah sucked on her hand and produced a similar image that went away in a few minutes. "Wow, Claire, that must have hurt," was all Leah could think of to say. When Leah asked her mother about hickeys, she was told that men make those marks while they're making love. Leah and Shelley still played with Barbie dolls and watched Scooby-Doo every day after school, while Claire was apparently out with Tommy doing things that her friends could not even imagine. Claire eventually stopped riding the bus, and no one saw her for several weeks. Shelley found out that Claire's biological parents had come for her, and she was actually living with them in the next county. When she told Leah about it, the teenager was shocked. "What do you mean they came for her?" Leah had never imagined that biological parents could come back for their child. "Well, I really don't know how it happened, but Claire's mom sure is freaking out," Shelley said. Claire moved in with her biological parents, and they're sending her to a private girls' school. She's not dating Tommy anymore, and I heard they won't let her wear her contact lenses. This last bit of information was a real shocker because Claire absolutely detested wearing her glasses. Claire's parents had just recently allowed her to get contacts, and Leah remembered how proud she was of them. Claire's mom said she didn't even take her record collection. Can you imagine Claire Sanders without her music? Leah thought about the three of them, 12 years old, wearing belly-bearing tube tops and lots of makeup, jamming to "Carry On My Wayward Son" off of Claire's Kansas album. They would dance wildly on top of her bed, using hairbrushes as microphones, until they eventually ended up on the floor, writhing about like epileptics. And I remember this scene. It's so real. We literally did this. Did you ever do this when you were a kid? Wait, let's put it on. Kansas karaoke. Why not, right? I need a little break from reading. It's hard to read sometimes. It's like making my mouth really dry. Here we go. Da-na-na-na, da-na-da-na-na-na. My wayward son, there'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Sometimes I take the wrong octave. Whoa! All right, let me read that again. Leah thought about the three of them, 12-year-olds wearing belly-bearing tube tops and lots of makeup, jamming to "Carry On My Wayward Son" off of Claire's Kansas album. They would dance wildly on top of her bed using hairbrushes as microphones until they eventually ended up on the floor, writhing about like epileptics. Hello, Brazil. How's that work? Then it gets sad. I've always loved Kansas, just gotta say, ever since I was a teenager. Wait, this is my favorite part. Once I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion. I was soaring ever higher, but I flew too high. Though my eyes could say I still was a blind man, though my mind could think I still was a madman, I hear the voices when I'm dreaming. I can hear them say. All right, sing it with me. Let's throw the troll into the Gulf of Mexico. Head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Whoa! All right. Yeah, that's wild. That's what a great song, though. Who doesn't love Kansas? Okay. Back to the story. Poor Mrs. Sanders, Shelley sympathized. I would never do that to my parents, Leah declared. My mom's taken care of me my whole life, said Shelley. She's my real mother no matter what. I can't believe that Claire could be so cold, Leah marveled. The two girls agreed that Claire was messed up, but at the same time, they both felt a little sad and jealous that Claire's biological parents had returned. That feeling intensified when Claire came back a few weeks later to say her goodbyes and to get her mom's piano. The Claire who greeted them was a goody-goody shell of her former self. The hickeys were gone, and she was wearing wire-rimmed glasses. Her wild, frizzy hair, which used to frame her face like an auburn halo of electricity, was pulled tightly back into an angry ponytail. And instead of her usual sexy, low-cut tank tops, Claire was clad in Catholic schoolgirl attire. My real parents are great, she said breathlessly. They gave me up because they were really young when I was born, but they were always in love, and they've been married now for 5 years. I even have 2 little sisters. Can you believe it? No, we thought we were your sisters, Shelley and Leah silently accused as they let her go on and on about how wonderful it was to live with her real parents and how her younger sisters had curly hair just like hers. What about your mother, Shelley asked. Don't you care about her anymore? Claire looked at the ground when she said, I know this hurts her, but I belong with my real family now. I just hope she'll let me have the piano. What about Tommy? Shelley implored. He asks about you all the time. He's part of the past. Tell him I said goodbye. Claire's sentences were clipped, and she looked bored with her old friends, eager to get on with her new life. Claire, is this really what you want? Shelley asked. Don't call me Claire anymore. My real name is Elizabeth. And with that, she took off towards an unfamiliar station wagon across the street. I've changed my mind, Leah suddenly declared after a moment of shaky silence. I never want to adopt children, not if something like this can happen. From that day on, Leah passed the Sanders house like it was haunted. She imagined Mrs. Sanders crying in Claire's abandoned room, which faced the street and gaped out at Leah like a burned-out hole where a disastrous fire had occurred. Leah never dreamed that it would someday happen to her, too. Then we interrupt this story for a note from our author. Let's see. I see some questions. Squatch wants to know, how old were you when you found out that you were adopted? I always knew. I was told immediately. And even my baby book is an adopted baby's book. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, this might be a 60s house. It's definitely at least a 70s house. The 70s called. They want their house decor back. It's okay. I love it. I love it. I think it's great. Anyway, yeah. So then I interrupt the story to tell you guys. The story you are reading was originally written in 1986 as a class assignment when I was a journalism student at Ohio University. Writing it helped me to make sense of events that took place long before I was born, as well as the betrayal that shattered my adoptive family when I was 17 years old. Throughout the years, I've agonized over the fact that by telling my story, I would be exposing the lives of other people, not just my own. This is why I delayed publishing this book until after the death of my adoptive mother. She was incredibly proud of my work as a journalist, but she was not looking forward to the day when I would ultimately publish this book because it recalls a terribly painful time in her life. Despite her death in 2013, I held off on publishing this book. In 2015, I published another book called Do You Like It Was Yesterday, A Journalist's Files Since 9/11. Just to prove to myself that I could actually publish a book. Finally, 40 years later, the time has come. If you're reading this, if I'm reading this to you, know that I am doing my, wait a minute, hold on. I'm doing my happy dance. Now, back to the story, Love Jill. And then the next chapter is called How's Your Whore? But I'm not reading it right now. I'm done. I'm done reading for right now, okay? I've read 2 things to you. Anyway, woo-woo. As a child, I used to wish I was adopted. Well, people say that, but you know, it is kind of hard to grow up really not knowing where you come from. Put sun, there'll be peace. No, I'm too high. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. So I'm learning to sing better. I'm actually going to be taking I didn't start taking lessons yet, but I will be taking lessons. So it might be a little more enjoyable to listen to me sing. I'm doing it all the time. I might as well learn how to do it right. You know, there's certain ways to breathe and to, you know, choose the right octave. It's a whole situation. But since I do often sing to people in public, I wouldn't mind if I knew how to actually do it. So, and you guys are being nice to me tonight, so thanks. Let's dance. Anyway, this is a little example of story time for you all. The Beach Report has just come into its own on YouTube now. We like to dance and sing. We like to read stories that I wrote back in the day and even recently. And as I said, I am about to celebrate. This is a little bit loud. Sorry, guys. I'm toning it down. Wait. Okay, that's better. Oh, do the Trump dance. Oh, that's a pretty good idea, though. Hey, Laura. Yeah, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. I was supposed to go to my sister's, and then there was this like crazy thing with her dog, with my dog. Like dogs couldn't come there or something, but then the dog could come there, and I'm like, well, I'm not going. I'm not going. You know, sometimes, and I'll say, when you're grieving, when you are going through a holiday season without people who were always involved in your previous holidays, sometimes the best thing to do is just sit it out. Seriously. You know what? Take the day off. Spend the day in bed. Get drunk if you want. Like, I'm not saying that you should get drunk. It might not always be the best idea. But seriously, do whatever you feel like doing. If that means, I don't know, I was going to say eat a fudge cake. That was always my go-to death thing. Whenever anybody dies, I end up eating a fudge cake. Like, maybe not the whole thing at once in one day, but I can eat a fudge cake in 2 to 3 days max. Every time. My parents, my grandparents, whenever anybody died. I don't know why or how it ever ends up happening, but there's a fudge cake in front of me. I'll eat the whole thing. It's a death thing. It's the only time I ever eat the whole fudge cake. You know, like I could eat a piece of I don't even eat fudge cake normally. I try not to eat any sugar. I try to live like a diabetic, but yeah, it's a death thing. Anyway, I did the same when my husband died too. Somehow somebody bought me a fudge cake. It's insanity, but I'm not eating any fudge cakes now. My friend just died, but I'm not eating a fudge cake for her. I'm not doing it. So, cheesecake. Yeah, cheesecake, yum. Anyway, chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe will help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard to sleep tonight. If you don't know if it's appropriate, Squatch, it's probably not. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering this simple wish to kids from 1 to 92. Though it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. Wow, Darla, how did your dog alert you? What was your dog like? Hey, dude, get out the sugar tester. Like, how do you know this? I'm so happy, but it's kind of funny. Like, my dog was like, hey, excuse me, that cake, don't touch it. It's bad. So, yes, everybody, happy Thanksgiving. Is there a Thanksgiving song? I feel like there's no Thanksgiving song. Is there a song about turkeys? I mean, Grandma got run over by a turkey. No, that didn't happen. I don't get it. Your dog was staring at you and wouldn't quit. Okay. And so was that like hello, test your sugar, mama? I don't know. I can read my dog's mind, so. Yes, Adam Sandler does have a Thanksgiving song, doesn't he? Huh. Here, I'm gonna do this song. We'll do a little Steve Miller. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Karaoke. Oh, here's a good song. We'll do a little Simon and Garfunkel. I love them. Oh, Steve Miller is awesome, though. We'll do Steve Miller after this. Okay, wait. We will do Steve Miller because my sound is too low for anyone to hear anything. All right. What's your favorite Steve Miller song? I love Steve Miller. How about Jet Airliner? That's a great song. I will never forget listening to this song right after I moved to Switzerland. Ooh, I was a hot mess. Oh yeah, grandmother's house we go, that's it. So the dog never stares at you, laying on your bed, climbed up on your chest, and just stood there staring, creeping you out. Okay, giving you Giving you the vibes. That's cool. My dog saves my life every day, and vice versa. All right, everybody get up and start dancing. If it's Steve Miller, you know you gotta dance. And sing. Leaving home out on the road, I've been down before. Riding along in this big old jet plane, I've been thinking about my home. But my love life seems so far away, as I feel like it's all been done. Somebody tried to make me stay, and now I got to be moving on. Oh, big old jet, I'm killing this song. I don't know if I can do this one. Big old jet airliner, 'cause it's here that I've got to stay. Hi, Mary. Hi, Andy. Goodbye to all my friends at home. Goodbye to people I trusted. Serenade. I'm going to try that one. Do I even know that one? Heart keeps calling me backwards as I get on the 707. Riding high, got tears in my eyes. That'll be in my next book. You know you got to get through hell before you get to heaven. Okay. Serenade. Wait, I'm sorry. I just came up with the song we all need to hear. Did someone call for the Trump dance? Oh, abracadabra, I want to reach out and grab you. Everyone on your feet. Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man, pick yourself off the ground. I said, young man, 'cause you're in a new town. There's no need to be unhappy, young man. There's a place you can go. I said, young man, when you're short on your dough, you can stay there. And I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. I never got that before. How do you do that? I get the Y part and the M part, but with the C, the A, I never got it. I'm just going to do the Trump dance. YMCA, hey. You can get yourself clean. You can have a good meal. You can do whatever you feel. Young man, are you listening to me? I said, young man, what do you want to be? I said, young man, you can make clear your dreams, but you got to know this one thing. I've had enough. I can't take it anymore. You know we will, Laura. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for my birthday party. So my sister's going to get there on Friday too. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. Oh my gosh, someone's got to teach me how to do the C and the A part. Yeah, we are going to have the greatest weekend ever. I'm so excited, I can't even. Yeah, I don't care that I'm missing Thanksgiving at my sister's because she's going to be at my party. There's going to be more surprises at my party. Ooh, I can't wait. You guys are going to have so much fun. Well, it doesn't matter if you can't be there, darling, because you know me, I will make sure that even those who can't be there you're going to feel like you're there. Because I'm going to film it and it will be live. So you can join the birthday party festivities. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. YMCA. Yes, you will be there in my lives. You know, I always feel like people say, I wish I was there. I wish I was there. You never have to wish that you're there. You are always with me. When I am doing these shows and they are live and interactive, just feel like you're with me, okay? You're in this room with me. I'm in the room with you. And we are dancing and celebrating. Life is just going to get better and better. And I'm celebrating because I published this book before I turned 59 and before I turned 60. Janet! Yes, you guys are here with me right now. All right, let's do this one instead. I've had enough of YMCA. I've never thought I would hear it so often, but... Hey, Karen. I know you're going to see my party. You're all going to be there. Yahoo! Sing it with me. Celebration. Yahoo! It's your celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. Celebrate. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A celebration to last throughout the year. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We all celebrate my birthday with you. Come on now. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Yeah. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Come on. Oh, look, Kyle's never seen a happy person before. I'll publish my second book. I'm so excited. And it's my birthday. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. It's a celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. Let's celebrate. There's a party going on right here. A dedication to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate your birthday with you. Come on now. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Yeah. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Yeah, all around the world. Yahoo! It's a celebration. Wahoo! It's a celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. Let's celebrate. Come on now. Good times. Come on. Let's celebrate. We're gonna have a good time tonight. It's celebrate. It's alright. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright, baby. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's alright. Baby, celebration, celebrate. It's alright. Yahoo! Alright, I'm stoked, but I'm also old, so I'm getting tired. So I think this is gonna be like the end of my celebrate good times. Come on, I'm done. Alright, you guys, I am grateful that you spent this evening with me getting ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow. I hope everybody has eaten very little so that you can gorge yourselves tomorrow. Is that how you do it? That's how I do it. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you on the next beach report. Ciao for now. Celebrate good times. Come on. So it's a celebration.